Hello everyone, nice to meet you to all of you watch my videos, especially those remembering as a lecturer of the English for Specific Purpose course. How are you all? Hopefully you are still enthusiastic about these days of the pandemic so that everyone will stay healthy and especially happy. Because life is unhappy, it is the one of the enemies that of health. Relating to the health, there is a very interesting topic to be discussed on this association with me, Bartholomeus Heridanto, with student number 1906102296. But before we get into the main topic, there are some things that we should be discussed so that everyone can understood that the frame of my mind and everybody look on my perspective in responding to some of the questions that I collect in the discussion session later. As I explained earlier, that my topic will be related to the health. So for the first, I will explain to all of you that watching this video what health is. According to the WHO, health is the state of the complete physical, mental, and social well-being and not merely the absences of a disease or infirmity. For this definition, there are several important things that we must be understood so none of you have a wrong view. First, physical health means the physical well-being, which involves a healthy lifestyle to reduce the risks of a disease, such as can protect and develop a respiratory resistance and heart function, muscle strength, flexibility, and a body composition. Then a good mental health is not only categorized of the absences of depression, anxiety, or other disorder. It also depends on one's ability to enjoy life, bounce back after a difficult experience, and adapt to adversity. Balance of various elements of life, such as the family and the finance, feel safe and secure, and reach their full potential, and the relationship with the social that the person is going through does not distort mentally and psychologically to this person. For that, there are actually many things that must be considered to maintain health. So I think maintaining health is closely related to safety because the meaning of the safety itself it's always associated with the person being free from an accident or a near miss. Safety is defined as a philosophy of thought and effort to ensure the completeness of physical or mental. This means that a safety goal is to keep someone or ourselves healthy. So it can be concluded that the safety and health will always be related, whether it's at work or home where the people rest. For the safety and health is in the workplace, there are a lot of rules that must be obeyed by a person on provider jobs, or we can call it a company. Talking about the company, I have a discussion material that I have previously touched on the initial discussion, namely the safety and health of artists at work, maybe when appearing on the stage or during the shootings process, where the safety and healthcare is greatly influenced by the support of the company that houses the artist, or we usually call an agency. However, the state also has an important role in the welfare and health of the artist at work because a country continues to provide a prosperity to this profession without exception. For example, in Indonesia, quoted from liputan6.com, the government has to carry out of a study of this profession and it's trying to carry out the professional certification so that it immediately has the laws that regulate work safety in Indonesia. From the same page, Western countries also have laws that against his artist profession first. Actually, there have been many things that support this artist professional, but lately, a lot of news has happened to the artist. This news may not happen very often in Indonesia, but often occurs in other countries. So I don't think so. This discussion we will do many examples from Indonesia, but I will give example in other countries where this problem may often arise and be reported. Okay, now I'm going to try to provide some data that I found on the internet whose sanitation can be trusted. There are two pictures which show us a work accident at idol group of a member, Reddish Red Velvet, in the South Korea, who was singing on the stage suddenly fell and caused a very serious injury. From that news, the House of Crew was very responsive to recusing and providing assistance to the hospital. Since also based on the same news, the agency is also quick to respond in saving the artist and immediately to clarify the artist's condition and gave full support for artist's recovery. From this news, I really appreciated all of section of the agency support for the artist recovery. But after seeing the added news, even though the organizers have investigated internally, but the results have not been obtained. So for this reason, the agency needs to continue this case will until an investigation with the South Korean police. From this, it can be seen that the artist profession is often overlooked and not considered a profession, even though a very job in the principal must be able to maintain the safety and health of its worker by guaranteeing it of prepared for accountability. If seen from the above case, the agency already is maintaining the artist, but the party of the event organizer is not really care and exploit artists who will fill the show. For this reason, it needs to a lot of firm action by the agency against the organizers, possible preventive measures, and checking where the organizer have the against it to ensure their artists can still look in a good shape. Ensuring their artists in the other place may be very difficult for the company and make the company need to increase the cost of hiring someone who always checks the artist's place of work. For this reason, the artists as well as the workers must be taken care of their health and safety must also be trained to always pay attention surrounding environment already described in the discussion in the class when discussing hazard and risks undertaken by the artist's work in their workplace, such as novel field or a closed stage. Maybe I can give you an example of several kinds of hazard that can be noticed by artists in the example cases above, such as paying attention to every step, meaning knowing a shooting that is not really solid so that you can avoid such an incident and pay attention to the direction. Or maybe you can avoid a spray from the existing fireworks on the stage. On the other hand, the manager and the bodyguard who accompanies their artist activity can pay attention to all its activities work environment and can perpetuate it as a form of evaluation. As this class discussion, a professionality is very concerned. Maybe the question now is whether I have data about work accident experienced by artists in the Western countries. For the last films, there are no accident causes because Western countries already have laws that stipulate the artist, actor, and even model are certificated as a professional. Therefore, is safety and health are responsibility of the company because it's included in a state of law. On the other hand, the law of also make the state take a part on maintaining the safety of the artist by providing some kind of insurance or legal protection. For example, in the UK, which sets the results in webarchive.nationalgoarchive.gov.uk for actor and actress during the shooting process. Also in the UK or in the another European countries, there are also laws governing employment, HMRC, in the tax withdrawal use a form of insurance payment or a payment of the country income. So now, I will try to discuss some questions that are often asked by many people on the social media or other news platform regarding to the agency handling of the mental health of their artists. Then the question now is, the mental illness is the form of the safety and health measures? The answer is yes. It is because the part of health is the healthy mentality, physically and socially, which I explained earlier at the beginning of our discussion. In addition, according to the journal Tantangan dalam mengungkapkan beban kerja mental, published by Psychology's Faculty of Gadjah Mada University, it provides an explanation that in that work there are cognitive actions taken by workers that can cause mental health problems. This is due to the saturation of the repeat cognitive activities and so on. Therefore, an artist as a professional is also inseparable for the problem from this problem. For example, repetitive cognitive activities such as memorizing text for filming, memorizing dance movement by idols, or even cultivate their techniques while singing on the stage can make you bored. Coupled with the many people attention to this professional, which can also create a lot of pressure itself. Even the work environment can cause mental health is a problem. For example, Selena Gomez quoted from www.cnnindonesia.com, who report that Selena began to experience depression while in the studio making her song, which indicate that the cognitive work of thinking continuously in the process of making song. A person feels fatigue and a boredom and can make someone feel depressed. This inseparable from the countries in South Korea, whose artists are also often reported to be depressed. For example, one member of Korean artist, Minas Twice, have experienced anxiety disorder when appearing on the stage. Quoted from the CNN Indonesia, it was stated that Mina twice experienced panic disorder when being stoned because of its location, which often made her start like a sound of firework or pressure from many parties such recording video and being material of blasphemy. For this example above, the two artists both get support for this prospective agency. But for the Selena Gomez, there may be no defined news whether her agency is providing support. But the Twice Mina got help, very helpful from the agency and support her recovery by providing days off and a treatment. From the news, I was found the artist was properly compensation, but there are member of things that agency can do a prevent and from happening. So like I can give you a good agency of the BTS group, for example. They provide a vacation time for the artists apart for all exciting schedule or a better known as a hiatus. This is done so that any cognitive activity that can make their boredom can be avoided before the artists suffer from a mental health problems. From our discussion today at this time, there are a number of things that can be concluded, namely the agency really pays attention to these artists, but actually there are still many things that the agency must pay attention to such of hazard and risk or many prevention. All right, that's all my okay, that's all my current discussion today. Thank you very much for listening and paying attention to current video until the end. Hopefully it can add more knowledge to all of you have been watching. See you next video. Bye.